Alright guys, it's day 2 of our online school. Today we're going to be focusing on writing. So all that you've been working on in your different writing groups, you're going to be applying that on your own today. So our new prompt is about a time you went to an interesting place. So we've been thinking about how we've been learning about immigration and how our main character in Grandfather's Journey went to a new place in America. He talked about how everything was bewildering and beautiful. So we're going to be thinking about those kinds of words as we're writing our own interesting place stories. But don't forget, when you start your writing, you need to remember our 3 sentence frames for our introduction, which is have you ever, I have, and I will never forget. So those are the 3 things we want to make sure we have at the beginning. And then you need to make sure that you're planning all of your writing, so your sensory details and your beginning, middle, and end. So if using stars and bars is what works for you, you're going to make sure you have your 3 stars for your beginning, middle, and end. And then at least your 3 details for each. Most of you are trying to challenge yourself to get maybe more than 3, or you're adding more details than what we've asked for. If you would rather just do a simple beginning, middle, and end, that's another way you can plan your writing. I know those of you who've been working with Miss Thompson have been planning your story as a beginning, middle, end, like a hill, to help you think through all those events in your story. So we want to make sure we have a clear beginning, middle, and end to our story, but we also don't want to forget what we talked about last week, which is those sensory details. So if you want to make a sensory cloud where you have what you're describing in the middle, so ours would be our interesting place. I'm just going to write place right here. Whatever place you're describing, you'll write in your cloud. Remember, we need our things we hear, things we see, things we taste, maybe. We might not all have taste in our story. Things you smell, things you feel, like you're with your touch, so feeling it with your skin, and then also the things that we feel with our hearts and our head, so our emotions. So once you've planned your beginning, middle, and end of your story, think about those sensory details that are really going to make your story engage with your reader, just like Grandfather's Journey did when we read that. And once you've brainstormed all of those things, you need to think about your conclusion and our sentence frames for that, which are, as you can see, I learned, and next time I will. And once you've planned all those things, you can go on to our next slide in this assignment, and there will be a link to Edulastic. You will need to go to your writing group's Edulastic. So sometimes, remember, at the top, you have to select which class you're in. I know sometimes when you pull up that assignment, it's not showing, but at the very top, it will say which class you're in. So if it's showing that you're in Miller Reading, you might need to change that to Narrative Ninjas or one of those things. And then your new prompt, the interesting place prompt, will be up there for you to do it. Can't wait to read what you guys write.